Your life is not shaped only by external situations, but is largely created by the quality of your thoughts, because every emotion you feel, every action you take, and every decision you make begins in the mind, forming the foundation of your entire experience. And when your thinking is unclear, negative, or automatic, life begins to feel stressful and scattered. But when your thinking becomes intentional, focused, and aware, life starts to feel meaningful and controlled. And the first lesson in understanding the mind is realizing that you are not your thoughts, but the awareness that observes them. Because thoughts are temporary mental events that rise and fall continuously, just like waves in the ocean or clouds in the sky. And most people mistakenly believe every thought they think, which causes unnecessary suffering. Because when a negative thought appears, such as fear or self doubt, they accept it as truth instead of observation. But when you learn to step back and watch your thoughts, you create distance between awareness and thinking. And in that distance lies real freedom, because you can pause before reacting, question before believing, and choose before acting. And, for example, when the thought, I am not enough, appears, you do not need to accept it as reality, but instead you can simply observe it as a passing mental pattern. And when you stop identifying with every thought, its emotional power weakens naturally. And another important truth is that your focus shapes your thoughts more than anything else, because whatever you repeatedly pay attention to becomes stronger in your mind. Meaning, attention is like energy that feeds thinking. So, if you focus on problems, your mind produces more problems, and if you focus on fear, your mind creates more fear. But if you focus on solutions, your thinking becomes clearer and more productive. And this explains why two people can experience the same situation yet think completely differently, because their focus determines their mental interpretation. And when you consciously guide your attention, you begin to shape your internal world instead of reacting to it. And even small shifts in focus can change your emotional state over time, because the mind follows attention automatically. And when you repeatedly focus on mistakes, your mind builds a pattern of self criticism. But when you shift focus toward learning, your mind builds growth instead. And another key principle is that you cannot stop thoughts, but you can replace them, because the mind never stays empty and always fills space with something. So when a negative thought, like I cannot do, this appears, instead of accepting it, you can replace it with a more useful thought, like, I will try step by step and improve slowly. And this simple replacement begins to rewire your thinking patterns. And with repetition, your mind gradually adopts new ways of thinking. And another important practice is questioning your thoughts instead of obeying them. Because when you ask whether a thought is completely true or whether there is another explanation, you automatically create awareness and reduce emotional intensity. And beyond thoughts themselves, your environment also plays a powerful role in shaping your mind. Because everything you see, hear, and experience becomes input for your thinking system, and over time, your environment becomes your internal dialogue. So, if you constantly consume negativity, your thoughts become heavy and doubtful. But if you consume positive and educational input, your thinking becomes clearer and more focused. And this is why controlling your environment becomes an essential part of controlling your mind. Because when you change what enters your awareness, you gradually change what your mind produces. And another important aspect is that your physical surroundings also influence your thinking, because a clean and organized space creates calmness, while a messy environment creates distraction and mental fatigue. And when your space is structured, your mind naturally becomes more focused and stable. And this shows that mental clarity is not only about inner thinking, but also about external conditions that support or disturb it. And when you intentionally design your environment, you reduce unnecessary mental load and increase your ability to think clearly. And another powerful practice is learning to slow down your reactions because most people respond instantly to thoughts without awareness. But when you pause, even for a moment, you create space for better decisions, and in that space, awareness grows and impulsive thinking decreases. And this small habit can transform your emotional stability over time. Because reactions become more intentional and less automatic, and you begin to observe instead of immediately reacting. And this shift allows you to understand your mind better. And another important truth is that awareness grows with practice and repetition. So every time you notice a thought and choose not to follow it, you strengthen your mental control. And this is why discipline becomes the foundation of all mental growth. Because without discipline, the mind returns to old patterns. But with discipline, you build new patterns that support clarity, focus, and emotional strength. And over time, these patterns shape your personality and your way of thinking. And gradually, you begin to experience more control over your internal world instead of being controlled by it. And this is the true beginning of mental freedom, where you are no longer a slave to every passing thought, but instead the observer and guide of your mind. And that awareness becomes the first step toward lasting peace and stability and clarity in life. And this practice of observing your thoughts daily slowly transforms your inner experience and helps you respond with wisdom instead of reaction. And over time, your mind becomes more balanced, more peaceful, and more aligned with your goals and values. And you begin to realize that true control is not force, but awareness and understanding and gentle guidance of your thoughts rather than suppression or resistance. And this is how you begin to master your mind step by step with patience, consistency, and awareness in life. Continuing from the journey of mastering your mind, the next truth is that control over thoughts is not about force, but about consistent practice, because your mind learns through repetition, and whatever you repeat becomes your mental habit. So, if you repeat negativity, your mind becomes negative, but if you repeat awareness, your mind becomes aware. And this is why small daily actions matter more than occasional effort, because real change happens slowly through consistency. And another important truth is that when you learn to pause before reacting, you start creating space between thought and action. And in that space, you gain freedom because you are no longer controlled by automatic reactions, but instead you become the chooser of your response. And this ability to choose is what separates reactive thinking from conscious living. And as you practice this, you begin to notice that many thoughts lose power simply because you do not engage with them. And this is the essence of mental strength, not fighting thoughts, but not feeding them. And when you stop feeding unhelpful thinking, it naturally fades away. And another key aspect is understanding that overthinking is a habit, not a necessity, and it grows when you delay action because the mind fills silence with repetition. So, the more you delay decisions, the more your mind creates confusion. But when you take action, clarity begins to appear naturally, and this is why action is more powerful than endless thinking. And when you start acting on small decisions, you train your mind to trust movement instead of fear, and gradually overthinking loses control over you. And another important practice is protecting your mental input, because what you consume becomes your thinking pattern. And if you consume chaos, your mind reflects chaos. But if you consume clarity, your mind becomes clear. And this is why choosing positive input is essential for mental stability. And also, your physical space should support your goals, because a disorganized environment creates distraction, while a clean space supports focus and clarity. And this external order directly influences internal order. And another core principle is that discipline is not restriction but freedom, because when you discipline your mind, you free yourself from random thoughts and emotional chaos, and you become stable, focused, and confident. And this stability allows you to make better decisions and live with purpose and direction. And finally, when you combine awareness, focus, replacement, environment control, and discipline, you create a complete system for mental mastery, and your life begins to change, not because the world changes, but because you change the way you experience it. And this is the ultimate goal of controlling your thoughts to live with clarity, peace, and strength in every moment of your life. And when you reach this level of awareness, you realize that true control was always within you, not in the world outside. And this understanding brings deep peace and lasting clarity and helps you move forward with confidence and purpose every single day. Because each day you practice awareness, you strengthen your mind like a muscle. And over time, this strength becomes your natural state, and you no longer feel controlled by random thoughts because you learn to observe them without attachment. And this detachment does not mean avoidance, it means understanding that you are separate from your thoughts. And this realization is liberating because it removes fear from thinking and replaces it with clarity. And another important habit is journaling your thoughts, because writing creates distance between you and your mind, and when you see your thoughts on paper, they become easier to understand and manage. And this simple practice improves emotional awareness and reduces mental pressure. And another powerful truth is that most mental suffering comes from imagined scenarios that never happen. And when you bring your attention back to reality, suffering reduces significantly, and you begin to see life as it is rather than as you fear it might be. And this shift in perception is one of the greatest sources of peace and mental freedom. And another key principle is simplicity, because the more you simplify your thinking, the less confusion you experience, and simple thinking leads to clear decisions, and clear decisions lead to better outcomes. And this chain of clarity creates a stable life experience. And another important idea is that you do not need to control every thought perfectly, but you only need to become more aware over time. And this gradual improvement is what creates lasting change. And another important practice is gratitude. Because when you focus on what you already have, your mind shifts away from lack and begins to generate positive thoughts naturally. And this helps reduce stress and increase emotional balance. And another core lesson is patience. Because mental training takes time, and you cannot expect instant transformation. And just like physical training results appear gradually, and this understanding prevents frustration and keeps you consistent. And finally, when you combine all these principles, awareness, focus, replacement, environment, discipline, simplicity, and action, you build a strong foundation for mental mastery. And this foundation supports you in every area of life and helps you respond to challenges with calm, confidence, and wisdom. And you begin to realize that true control is not about stopping thoughts, but about understanding and guiding them toward constructive outcomes. And this realization changes everything, because it gives you power over your inner world. And this inner power is the key to outer success and lasting peace. And as you continue this journey, you find that life becomes less reactive and more intentional, and you move through each day with greater clarity and purpose. And this is the true meaning of mental freedom and self mastery. And when you reach this state, you understand that you are never trapped by your thoughts, but only unaware of your ability to observe and change them. And this awareness brings deep calm and inner strength and allows you to live with purpose.